Hey everyone, welcome to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Tom, and I'm honestly so excited to kick off 2026 with you all.
And I'm Jenna. I've been looking forward to this first episode of the year for weeks. There's something about a fresh calendar that makes everything feel possible.
Totally, Jenna. There's just this cool energy at the start of January. For everyone tuning in, thanks for joining us as we launch into what we hope will be a fantastic year together.
It's great to see so many eager learners back with us, or maybe you're listening for the first time. Either way, you picked the perfect moment to start.
You know, it feels like everyone talks about fresh starts in January, but I wonder, does it actually help us learn better? Or is it just a nice idea?
I think it genuinely gives us a boost. When the year turns over, people feel open to new habits. Even small changes, like trying out more podcasts, can really stick because of that energy.
That makes sense. I notice I'm more motivated to set goals or try something challenging when the year is still brand new. It's like there's less baggage, you know?
Exactly, Tom. It's a mental reset. That's why it's such a great time to focus on improving your English or picking up any new skill, really.
Thinking about goals, have you set any for 2026, Jenna? Or do you like to keep it flexible?
I always set a couple of language goals. For example, this year I want to read 2 books in French and watch more shows without subtitles. I try to keep things realistic so I don't get discouraged.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've learned to aim for goals that are challenging, but not overwhelming. Setting tiny milestones along the way helps me actually keep going.
Breaking big goals into smaller steps is huge. That way you get to celebrate progress more often, which motivates you to keep pushing ahead.
But let's be honest, motivation tends to fade by February. Do you have any tricks for sticking with your goals once the excitement wears off?
Oh, totally. I try to make learning social. For example, I'll message a friend in French or join a weekly online group. It's way easier to stay on track when people are counting on you.
That's so true. Having someone to check in with, or even just sharing your progress, keeps the momentum going. I like to post my daily goals or what I'm learning online.
That kind of public commitment can be super motivating. Plus, other people often jump in with tips or encouragement, which makes learning more fun.
You know, sometimes I think people give up because learning feels like a chore. How do you keep things enjoyable, Jenna?
Honestly, I pick topics I'm actually interested in. If I'm learning new vocabulary, I'll use words related to cooking or music, whatever I love.
That's a great point. I noticed I stick with lessons better when they connect to my hobbies or what's happening in my life.
It's so much easier to remember and use new words when they're tied to things you care about. It just feels more natural that way.
Moving on, what about routines? Do you set aside a specific time each day to study, or do you fit it in whenever you can?
I try to do a little every morning, like 10 or 15 minutes. It's not much, but it really adds up over time. If I wait for a big chunk of free time, it just never happens.
That's so relatable. I used to wait for an hour to open up, but now even 5 minutes with a podcast or flashcards during my commute feels productive.
Tiny habits are powerful. The key is consistency, not perfection. Even on busy days, doing something small keeps you moving forward.
But what about those frustrating moments? Like when you feel stuck and don't seem to improve at all. How do you get past that?
I've definitely been there. Usually, I try to remind myself of how far I've come, even if it's just being able to order coffee without panicking. It helps to focus on small wins.
I totally agree. Sometimes looking back at old notes or recordings makes me realize I've improved more than I thought.
Absolutely. Plus, changing up your routine a bit, like listening to different podcasts or reading new genres, can make things feel fresh again and help break through those plateaus.
Speaking of fresh routines, podcasts have completely changed how I practice listening skills. It feels less formal, more like hanging out.
What I love is that you can listen anywhere, on a walk, doing chores, even while cooking. Plus, you pick up real-world language, not just textbook examples.
And it's way easier to fit into a busy day. Sometimes I'll replay a tricky part, or just let it play in the background and catch what I can.
Exactly. Even if you don't understand every single word, your brain gets used to the rhythms and sounds. That builds confidence over time.
That actually reminds me, people are often afraid of making mistakes when they're learning. How do you handle that fear?
Honestly, I try to see mistakes as proof I'm learning. If I don't mess up, I'm probably not challenging myself enough. Plus, sometimes my funniest stories come from language mix-ups.
I love that approach. I remember once I meant to say, I'm full in Spanish, and accidentally said, I'm pregnant. My friends still tease me about it.
Those stories make the journey memorable. The key is to laugh, learn, and keep going. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is.
Now, thinking about progress, I find having a community makes a huge difference. Where do you find support, Jenna?
I love online forums and social media groups. There's always someone willing to help out or chat. Even just following language learning accounts gives me daily motivation.
Sometimes it helps to know you're not the only one struggling. When people share their own tough moments or victories, it's really comforting.
Definitely. It's like having a team cheering you on, no matter where you are in the world. And sometimes you even end up making real friends.
With all this talk about progress, how do you celebrate your milestones? No matter how small they might be?
I make a big deal out of it. Maybe I'll treat myself to a fancy coffee or share my achievement with friends. It makes the journey feel more fun.
That's awesome. I'll write down milestones in a journal, even if it's just had a full conversation in Spanish without switching languages. It's motivating to see those moments pile up.
Those little celebrations keep you moving. They're proof you're growing, even on days when it feels slow.
Well, it feels like we've covered so much ground today. I'm feeling genuinely hopeful about what 2026 has in store.
Same here. Whether you're setting big goals or just aiming to use more English in daily life, every step counts, and we'll be here each week to help you along the way.
Thanks so much for joining us for this first episode of the year. We hope you feel motivated to make 2026 your best English learning year yet.
Before we go, if you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe to our channel. That way you'll never miss out on tips, stories, and a bit of encouragement every week.
Wishing everyone a fantastic start to 2026. We'll catch you next time on the English Learning Podcast.
Bye everyone, keep learning, and see you soon.